I think we have one minor technical difficulty, but that'll give me a little bit of time to introduce.
You don't want me to talk.
I'm sure we can fix this. Give me a little bit of time to introduce Fabricio. He's the CEO, who's now hitting his 1-year anniversary in his time with Prosus. Prosus is one of the most interesting tech companies in Europe. It's also one of the largest in terms of valuation. It's trading with a stock market value of under $130 billion on the Amsterdam Exchange. But in perfect timing, that gives us opportunity.
I got it.
Now we're in business. Very good. But there's a very interesting backstory behind Prosus. So, like, Fabricio, can you just tell me about how a small South African book publisher wound up birthing one of the largest tech companies in Europe?
Good afternoon, everyone. Are you still awake? Let's have a great conversation. Very good to be here with you. They gave me the mic. What's a big victory to start here. They said, don't talk too much. And then they get the microphone there. Look, I'm a big company CEO, but actually, I'm a tech founder just like many of you. 20 years ago, I created a two-people company in Brazil called Movile and iFood. This two-people company grew a lot, became like a $10 billion company. We have 100 million customers. We transact $25 billion in total. And then I had a partner called Prosus for many years, and this partner invited me to come to become the global CEO of Prosus. Prosus, as you said, is a $130 billion company. We have business in China, India, South Africa, Europe, Latin America, and we are just getting started. So we're very excited to build a much bigger Prosus. A $200 billion company is our short-term goal. But look, we have to think big. That's why we are here today. Let's think about $500 billion, $1 trillion. Why Americans have so many trillion-dollar companies, and Europe we are unicorn, maybe 1 billion. So I'm here to think big, and I'm very excited about that. I didn't answer your question. How you went from South Africa to become a bigger company? So Prosus was a print business in South Africa, and it made a very good investment in a company with zero revenue in China. This company is called Tencent. Today, Tencent values more or less $600 billion, and we own a fourth of Tencent. My goal as the new CEO, do it better now. So that's my big dream.
Very good. So you've been in the job for just over a year. What have you done so far?
My new vision on Prosus is what we need is real big tech here in Europe. We need a company that is very much focused on innovation, on culture, on thinking big, in taking risks. I think I love the European market. It's more or less the size of the American market, but we are under-delivering. We all here in this room. We should have here many companies of $100 billion. We should have a $1 trillion company here. So I changed a lot our culture Prosus has 30 to 40,000 people to be much more focused in innovation, moving fast, disrupting AI a lot. I think we are very good in AI in iFood, and we are making Prosus a leader in AI in what we are doing. So I think the future is going to change completely the big companies. The new big companies in 5 years are going to be companies we don't know today. And if we want to stay as a much more $100 billion or more company, we have to innovate a lot. So what I change is make Prosus a very innovative tech company.
That's great to hear. So just maybe tell us a little bit more about kind of what you learned building iFood. I think this is one of, it's a food delivery company in Brazil, but I think it's one of the companies in the space with the best net profit margins. I know that you've used AI already very heavily there. Can you maybe talk me through just sort of how you did that?
Who here heard about iFood in Latin America? Someone? Let me make a test. We just have a few customers here, just 10. If you are in Brazil, we would be 100% of the room. We have 80 to 90% market share there. iFood has in Brazil, as I told you, more than $10 billion, $20 billion in sales actually, and 70 million customers per year. And to me, the big thing on iFood is the way we make tech, the way we make AI. So iFood today, we sell 120 million orders per month. Everything in the company is made by AI. When we open the app, what you see, your preference, how we personalize to you, but how you talk to customer support, and the models on fraud and marketing and routing. We have around 200 models running the whole company. Managers in iFood, they doesn't take decisions because of the data. They train a model, and the model takes the decision specific for each customer. So we do, I think, 13 billion inference per month of data that really run how the company work. That's why I believe iFood grows so fast. In just one country, doing 120 billion orders is a lot. And that's what I believe. All the companies, in your business, the company that do AI, much better than the competitors, are going to be the winners in the next few years. I think iFood is doing very, very well because everything is run by AI today. And I think we have a big opportunity to make Europe lead on that too. I am very proud. I love the idea that Europe for the last 400 years was the innovator of the world with the navigations, with shipbuilding, maps, industrial revolution. In the last, I think that's why Europe has the wealth it has today. But in the last 50 years, we were a little behind. And my big goal is to make Europe the center of AI. We announced it today here in Raise that we are opening a AI house Amsterdam, a big ecosystem just to put all companies to work together. And I think we should have more 50 of that around Europe. Hope we will invest $15 billion, that's what we're expecting, in helping the European ecosystem be more AI-centric.
Fascinating. Food delivery is a big part of your business, but internationally and coming to Europe, you have two very savvy, well-funded rivals coming from America with DoorDash and from China with Meituan. What does it take for you and for European companies to beat big tech rivals from China and the US?
Look, a message to you, we need more ambition here in Europe. We need to think big and we need to think to win. Sometimes we are saying, no, that's the way we do things in Europe. We need to say we are going to be the winner in tech. Obviously, we need to invest more. Hopefully, Prosus can invest more. Obviously, we need more red tape. There is excess regulation that pressure us to do not have big tech here. So how I look to those companies, we just bought Just Eat Takeaway, pending regulatory approval. It's a big food delivery business here. But think about that. Just Eat Takeaway here in Europe, we bought it for $4 billion. The leader in China values $90 billion. The leader in the US values $80 billion, DoorDash, or $90 billion now. How we have the leader in Europe valuing $4 billion? So I think we have to think big and aggressive. We are here to win. As I told you, this acquisition is still pending regulatory approval, but we want to play for a win. We want to play to be the best player in the world. Our market in Europe is amazing. We will invest to be the best in the world in AI, invest to be the fastest one, invest to have the absolutely best products, and I expect to beat all global competitors. We have the market, we have the local knowledge, we have the investment capacity, we have the technical capacity, what I see in terms of the creation of engineers here, it's amazing, but we need to play to win, and I think this we can do better.
Well, if we had somebody from the European Commission or one of the local regulators in the room, which piece of red tape would you cut to have the biggest unlock? Like, what would you want to change in order to set up Europe to win in this game?
I think sometimes Europe is playing, is managing the competitive authorities are managing, thinking that I have to make sure that the competition inside Europe is fair inside Europe. But that's not the game anymore. The game is how we make a global Europe a winner in the global scenario. The thing is how to win against other global companies. And I think the regulators in Europe, they have to take a decision to say, we cannot block big techs in the whole world. There is very big tech, many big techs in US, many big techs in China. If you want to have many big techs in Europe, we have to let the companies move faster. We have to regulate less and let the companies move faster. In our case, we have $15 billion to invest in Europe, but many people is worried. Does Europe want people to invest much more here and faster? I think right now, the mood is, many people in Brussels are talking, we want to have more tech winners here. I hope this mood becomes actions, and many people, not only Prosus, invest to really have big winners here. I think this is very good for Europe. If we don't do it here, the big AI centers, the big AI companies are going to be in California, or in Beijing, or in Shenzhen. So we have to let it happen here, and therefore, my message to them is, there will be big players in tech. Hope many of those leaders are here in France, that is pushing this message to Europe and in the whole Europe.
Very good. Prosus is a big investor in AI. I think you've said before that you have a $100 million annual budget to spend on AI. Tell us how you're spending that inside Prosus. Where's that money going inside the company?
I really believe we have to be a tech company, and the money has to go to people developing, making breakthroughs, people innovating in AI. Today, we are investing a lot in what we call large commerce model. That means taking all the data we have from the transaction of our users and fine-tune an open source model. So this model can capture all the knowledge of the reasoning on why the users make a purchase decision. So I think this is how the next generation of the e-commerce company are going to behave. We are doing that. I think we are best in class today in the world executing that. And we invest a lot in keeping the models that make, we have 800 models running the companies, but also try to make breakthroughs in, as I think someone said it here today, we had breakthroughs in how you write with the large language models, how you create video, audio, images, but this has to get to how we operate e-commerce, and we are betting that Prosus is going to be a global leader on that.
Now you have a very large business, marketplaces, food delivery. There are many moving pieces. These are some of the most complicated businesses in tech that operate in the physical world. Like, what particular technology in terms of AI has had like the most impact in your business so far?
AI impacts all our business. It's not like a nice PowerPoint for a nice event like that. The fraud systems would be 10 times more fraud if you are not using AI to take all decisions. On the customer support, we have, as I told you, 5 million orders per day just in one company, and most of that is taken care by AI customer support. Our vision is that every company is going to have thousands of digital AI workforce, enabling the company to scale with very high quality using AI as the normal way the company should operate. We are already doing that a lot. We have an internal system called Token, where we serve this system with all our internal knowledge, including database, and you can just use a chatbot, ask about anything that happens inside the company. So we are using a lot. It's not only PowerPoint. It is, I think our profitability increased by 10 times the last year. The reason it is increasing is because we are every time being more efficient, every time serving better the customers through AI.
Interesting. We've seen several CEOs, like the CEO of Klarna, Shopify, Duolingo, kind of issue an AI manifesto to employees. It's like AI is the way forward for every decision. You have 30,000, maybe soon to be 40,000 employees. How do you change a culture like that in such a big organization? How do you kind of engender interest in AI and a willingness to use it?
When I had a 10-people company, to me the most important thing in a tech company was culture. Now I have a 30,000 people company, and to me the one most important thing in a company is culture. So the CEO of this company talked a lot about our values, we call it Prosus way, how we are entrepreneurs inside the company, how we move fast, how we experiment, how we are ambidextrous, what means very focused on results, but at the same time focus on disruptive innovation, and how to balance these two ways of thinking look opposite, but actually you are a company that can succeed over time. If you can at the same time be very good in execution, budget, delivering, but at the same time being as disruptive as a 10 people startup. So my job as CEO is more or less the direction and reinforcing the culture so that 30,000 people work in the same direction. To me, AI is the center of our business. So I talk about that all the time. I use it all the time. We create agents and we do demos and we create moments inside the company to use AI every day. And we talk about that in every fireside when we put the whole company together. I think the only way to do that is not writing in a memo and put it on the wall, is living that. So if the CEO lives the values, reinforce it all the time, and everyone see how it makes your job better, you're more productive, then the whole company follow that.
Fascinating. So we've seen several of the big tech giants in the US make huge layoffs this year. So we're seeing hiring for entry-level roles slowing down, which is being attributed to the impact of AI. If I was a human working in customer support, a process, should I be worried?
Yes and no. Look, if many people today say, I'm not going to learn how to be more productive with AI, you will have a problem in your career. Just think about if someone say, I don't like to use smartphones, nor I don't do search on Google, but I think I'm super productive. It's not true. To compete today, you have to use a smartphone and Google and the internet, etc. To compete in 5 years, if you say, I don't like very much that language model, I don't like this idea of talking to them. It's impossible to you to compete in terms of productivity to other people. How it's going to impact workforce? People is going to become much more scalable, much more powerful in doing more things faster. So for example, iFood doubled its size over the last 1 year, but we have more or less the same amount of people. So we are seeing more people doing more, delivering more, because of AI. Some people can think, that's bad. No, that's not, because it means the service becomes cheaper. You can serve more customers, charging less. When technology arrives in elevators, you can have an elevator now without people there working the elevator becomes cheaper to operate. And when technology arrived to magazines and Forbes and all the newspapers, they started to produce news cheaper and more people can buy it. I think all companies will have cheaper products because of AI, and I think everyone should invest your own time to become better on that, and the companies and the countries and European Union have to invest more to sell this idea. If we want to be as innovative as we were during the navigations on the Industrial Revolution, people here should say, I am very good in AI, and I am 10 times more productive than the rest of the world. Then Europe is going to stay the leader in the next 100 years.
So would you expect the headcount of Prosus to be flat or to go down over the next year?
I expect headcount of Prosus to increase because we can double our size flat, but since we want to grow much more than double our size, we are going to keep hiring people and creating one of the biggest big techs outside the US here in Europe.
Well, on the subject of growth, earlier this year you said you had a $10 billion war chest for acquisitions. You've already spent $4 billion, I think, on Just Eat, subject to that closing. What else is on your shopping list?
I said we had $18 billion in cash, and my intention is to invest everything. So I'm here to invest. I moved to Europe to invest. We acquired Just Eat Takeaway for $4.5 billion, and at least we will keep investing. We will invest in Europe a lot. That's most of our capital is coming to Europe. We focus in food delivery, fintech, e-commerce, and experience, and AI. Those are the 5 things we are doing. And we are going to keep investing to build a real big company. So just getting started.
Very good. I think that's all we have time for, but if we could just raise our hands and have a round of applause for Fabricio for a fascinating discussion. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Thank you, and let's build this $1 trillion European company. Good to see you.